This week on The Big Room.
I have a West Virginia question.
Okay.
Is there a genuine affinity for country roads?
At the end of this movie, whenever, spoilers, whatever.
The daughter
sings the song instead of Rihanna.
Yeah.
I was in my living room going, like, starting to sing along. I'm like, how do you not sing along to this song? And then the audience started singing along. I was like, this is real.
This is real.
This is real. That's exactly what would have happened.
Scene.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Welcome back to The Big Room. We're in the middle of a chaos month where we all picked a movie.
Chows.
Last week we watched Danielle's pick, The Devil Wears Prada.
Yes.
Which was good.
Everyone loved it.
Loved that
Everyone's
movie. It was good.
obsessed.
It was good. Stanley Tucci had a big ass ring in it. Nick
Ten-
didn't notice. This
Was he,
week,
did he?
though, we pulled Carl's pick. I might call this episode Carl Buries the Lead. Because he's like, it's a heist movie starring Channing Tatum and failed to disclose that it's Nick's home state and it's a NASCAR movie.
Dude, this movie was made for me.
Yep.
It was. That's
Yeah.
what I said the whole
It checks
movie.
all the boxes.
It's
really
so
does.
good.
I
So
played
wait-
Country Roads so many times.
Way to keep that closed. Did
I
you
can't
do that
believe
on
you guys hadn't
purpose?
seen it, or I mean, I did mention in the last episode that it was a little bit about NASCAR, but I didn't want to give out too much. I just wanted you guys to kind of have like a fresh take and
That was
go
a
into it
good
kind
move.
of blind.
It's
that was a
diabolical.
good move.
Yeah, that was smart. I was watching. I watched this Labor Day.
Labor Day.
I can't.
God, that was so long ago.
One of the Mondays. Yeah, we watched it Monday because Bachelor's Tuesday.
Oh, right.
This week.
Can't skip that.
No.
So if I'm off my game today, it's because I watched the movie on a day where I drank a 6-pack next to a pool.
Nice.
So yesterday was a little rough for me. This movie came out August 18th, 2017.
Wow.
Budget of $29 million. Finally, not a range.
Hey.
A hard number, $29 million. And it flopped. It made 48.5.
I mean, it doubled almost.
Yeah, that probably covered the marketing budget, maybe.
Yeah.
Did they market this? I don't remember
Me
any marketing
Not
at
a
all.
damn thing.
I didn't hear about this movie till last night.
I saw the scene that I had seen on TikTok is with Daniel Craig making the bomb out of gummy bears and his fake salt. I twisted the bag too many times. That's the scene I had seen on TikTok.
We are dealing with science here.
And what struck me from that scene was his accent. Daniel
Yeah.
Craig's accent. I was like, wait a minute. He's
Dude.
nailing, which British people from the UK, the accent that they can nail the most of the American accents is Southern. It's the easiest for them.
Well, I've also heard, too, that, like, the British accent is more sophisticated, so it's easier for them to just dumb it down
Well, it's more
and
so
do
like,
American than
That's
for
just
us to
British
punch it up.
propaganda.
like the closest thing that's horseshit. It's not real.
I mean, I
It's
heard
that-
Tom Holland say it, so it's real.
He is a small child. And he's a shitty Spider-Man. I don't like him.
He's sorry.
He's small.
That's too far. That's too far.
Small guy, very tiny, very demure, very cutesy.
He is very cutesy.
He's fine. I have no problems with him. But I think he's
Clearly.
wrong, actually, because the reason that they can do it is it's, in fact, the closest thing, surviving language that we have to Old English is the Southern accent. And that is there are clips that you can look up on TikTok, and you should look this up because it's insane. You'd have to get TikTok first. It's an app that young people are using, where they're reading Shakespeare in a Southern accent, and it freaking works really,
interesting.
really, really well. So I get it, and I loved Daniel Craig's performance in this movie. He was great. This was directed by Steven Soderbergh, who directed Oceans 11, 12, 13. In fact, this movie was jokingly called Ocean's 7-Eleven. It's basically an Ocean's 11 movie, but without the money and the the joie de vivre. He also did Contagion and Magic Mike, and it has a 92% critic score on Rotten Tomatoes. It was very highly or favorably reviewed.
Interesting.
And
Why the heck did it flop, man?
because they didn't market it.
Yeah.
It's a NASCAR movie.
But it's getting a second life.
It is today through our podcast. Logan Lucky.
I mean,
Did it.
it's top 10 on Netflix right now.
It's because of this show that hasn't released yet.
Yep.
I've watched it at least 4 times in the last month, so
Hey, it's actually because of Carl.
It's because it's
it's all
Carl.
me.
the,
You're welcome.
Here's the kicker. Are you ready?
Yep.
Did you look up anything about this movie on Wikipedia?
Only seconds before I watched it, just to kind of like read the plot and stuff. And then I saw some of the cameos. I was like, I shouldn't have Googled it.
Nope. Here's the kicker. This movie was written by Rebecca Blunt, who may not exist.
Yeah.
She doesn't exist?
She doesn't. She may not exist. The film's production notes state that she is a native of Logan, West Virginia. Where's that?
That was roughly where they filmed this, or where it was set.
We'll get back to that in a minute. She apparently now lives in New York City, and she was a first-time screenwriter. No one other than Soderbergh and Adam Driver has personally vouched for her existence.
Yeah.
Some people involved with the film have exchanged emails with the person they believed to be her, and they think that she lives in the UK, which is not New York City or Logan, West Virginia.
Nope.
There has been speculation that Rebecca Blunt is a pseudonym for Soderbergh's wife, Jules Asner, who chose to use the pseudonym to avoid the dismissive perception of, Soderbergh is just directing his wife's script. I find that to be pretty believable because people suck.
Yeah.
So shout out to Jules Asner if she wrote it, and if not, apologies to Rebecca Blunt.
There you go.
It's my new favorite conspiracy.
Rebecca Blunt doesn't
Rebecca
Heist is in
Blunt's
a
not
heist,
real. Yeah. The opening of the film took place in Boone County, West Virginia, which is named for Daniel Boone, who lived in the Kanawha Valley for a couple of years following the Revolutionary War. Have you been there?
I've been there. I lived there.
Okay, that's where you live.
I lived in the Kanawha Valley.
Wow.
Which
Boone
is
County.
it surrounds the Ohio River, yes?
Yep. Boone County was like 30-ish minutes from where I was.
Yeah.
My first girlfriend at the age of like 12 or 13, she was from Boone County.
Ooh.
How many teeth did she have?
All of them. Even wore shoes. It was great.
She wiped her feet before she
She's
came
not
in
like
the
the
door.
other girls.
She can write the alphabet capital and lower.
Ugh, God. Don't go that far. I hope she's not watching this.
If she's listening, we're just making fun of where you live, not you personally. It's just that where you live.
We're really just making fun of Nick.
Yeah, really, yeah. It's just that your state, dumb people live there, is all we're saying. It's not a personal attack.
There's not a we here.
I'm saying.
But yeah, no, Boone County was like 30 minutes from where I lived. They mentioned Charleston in the movie, which is like across the river from me.
Gotcha. The DuPont
So it
poisoned.
was my area. To the point where I was like, when they went to the bar and stuff, I was like, wait, where is this? Is this close by? I don't even know if they filmed it there.
Yeah.
It looked like there.
Yeah.
Man.
But yeah.
So, can I talk about Carl? You're gonna have to go to sleep for a bit. So I did my research for this movie earlier tonight, and what I just did was a lot of research on the 2016 NASCAR season.
Okay, good.
So Nick's a new NASCAR fan. His dad has watched NASCAR for a long time. I was a NASCAR fan as a kid. My dad's been one forever, and I picked it back up in 2020. Although I have vision into the 2016 season because it affected Dale Earnhardt Jr., who I was a fan of when he was racing at the time. So I'm going to lay some background. I'm going to try to be quick. I don't want to make this a NASCAR podcast, even though it's a NASCAR movie, so suck my
I like
ass.
the sound of that.
Film takes place during the 2016 NASCAR Sprint Cup season,
Wow.
which was Sprint's last year's primary sponsor before Monster Energy took over in 2017 through 19. And then since 19, they have not had a
Just the
sponsor.
Cup.
It's just been the NASCAR Cup Series. 2016 was the last full-time season for three-time champ Tony Stewart, one-time champ Bobby Labonte, Carl Edwards, and Greg Biffle. All three of those three of the four, all but Biffle, are in the Hall of Fame, the NASCAR Hall of Fame, with Carl Edwards set to enter in 2025. Jeff Gordon came out of his 2015 retirement for the Brickyard 400 to fill in for Dale Earnhardt Jr., who was concussed and missed the entire second half of the season before returning in 2017 and subsequently retiring after that year. He wrote a book about his concussions and how that one really was his wake-up call, and he had many, many, many before that. So he was basically like, time to take care of my brain.
Dang, yeah.
And Jeff Gordon unretired and stepped in. It was the year that Jimmy Johnson won his record-tying 7th championship, joining legends Dale Earnhardt and Richard
remember
Petty.
that.
And It's Chase Elliott's rookie year.
Oh,
He replaced Jeff Gordon in the legendary 24 car following the 2015 season. Yeah, so he started in the 24 car.
I didn't know that.
As you can see right here in this thing. That's been
I
on the
didn't know
wall
that.
for a long time. I have his autograph from that
I
season.
often look at him like there's a signature. I never noticed the
Yeah,
number.
nice. He took over the 24.
Shucker.
Now, here's the thing with the filming. It is not 100% clear to me which races the film was filmed during. According to Wikipedia, filming began on August 24th, 2016 and lasted for 36 days. However, the Folds of Honor Quick Trip 500 at Atlanta Motor Speedway, so they filmed the it's also not super clear where this line is, but from what I can gather, they filmed the commentary booth scenes with Mike Joy, Darrell Waltrip, and Jeff Gordon at Atlanta because the booth overlooks the track at Atlanta, so they actually painted the retaining wall yellow to match Charlotte.
Wow.
Because I think that the one at CMS overlooks like the road course and it's not as pretty. But that race was it was the second race of the year. It took place on February 8th, so it was right after the 500. Jimmy Johnson won that race. The Coca-Cola 600, which is the race the story takes place during, was filmed on May 29th. Again, filming was said to have begun on August 24th. So Martin Truex Jr. won that. The Bank of America 500 took place at Charlotte on October 9th during the postseason. It was the round of 12 in the chase for the Cup. But some of the sources I read say the film wrapped before that. Some say it wrapped afterwards. Jimmy Johnson won that race as well. So that's kind of the NASCAR background.
I just kind of assumed it was filmed at the Coke whatever.
If it was filmed at the 600, then filming had to have started before they said.
Yeah.
It's probably likely that they filmed some at that race and some at the playoff race to get pickup shots. And then obviously they did the booth at Atlanta, which we know because during the playoff race, Jeff Gordon was filling in for Junior. So he could not have been in the booth.
Oh.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Man.
So that's that. We can move away from NASCAR discussion for now. I'm going to bring
I was going to
For
say,
now.
we're not done.
I'm going to bring it back up later. So one of my first things I wrote down. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I have a question about the track, but that might come up later too.
Oh God, I might not be able to answer that. Is the question? Is the whole bank vault?
Yeah,
thing?
yeah.
I have no bloody. Here's what I can say. At least at the two tracks I've been to since this movie was filmed, which is Atlanta Motor Speedway and Daytona International, 3, 4, 5 times, no cash.
Yeah,
They're all card. Most sports venues these days are all card.
that's a good point.
So even if it did exist, I doubt it would still.
And if it did exist, I doubt they would let the movie film there and be all about how they hold their money.
Yeah, so it's
Here's how to rob us.
Right. It's probably malarkey,
Yeah.
but I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Not what I expected. I forgot that you mentioned the NASCAR tie-in at all. Just totally forgot about that
Nice.
last week. So they start talking, and I'm like, what? Like the opening shots are like Channing Tatum working on an underground tunnel at CMS, and I'm like, what is happening? So I was getting excited. I'm like, dang, Carl, picking a freaking movie for me and Nick today.
And then after he leaves there, Country Road comes on. And it's
Yeah.
such, the first 30 minutes, I was just smiling, man. So good.
Oh, I'm so happy you guys liked it.
Oh,
I'm
good.
assuming you liked it.
Cast
Yeah.
is crazy. Channing Tatum, Adam Driver in my new favorite role of his.
Larry, Terry,
yeah.
Gary, Jerry,
Larry-
Gergich.
Yep.
Wasn't it?
Roy from The Office.
Roy.
Dwight Yoakam, country music star Dwight
yeah.
Yoakam.
Oh, yeah.
as
What a
the-
character.
as
What
the
the warden.
at the
Oh my
jail.
God.
Seth MacFarlane.
Seth MacFarlane
Yeah.
as the British bit of a dick, isn't he character?
Sebastian Stan.
Yeah.
Hillary Swank.
Hillary Swank.
Yep.
Just looking mean.
How
as
did
hell.
this flop? That's insane.
And Leanne Rhymes cameos
Oh, yeah,
singing
yeah,
America
yeah.
the Beautiful during
Joey
the race.
Logano.
Okay, so many.
We're gonna
So many NASCAR driver cameos. We'll get at it. One of my the first thing I wrote down was Ford involved in this movie? Because immediately
Everything.
with Roy from The Office's
Yeah.
character,
He's just Roy. I have no idea what his name is.
he's got Mustangs, a Ford Edge, an F-150, an Expedition. He's wearing a Ford hat, and then later they're like, "Oh, he
Yeah.
owns multiple dealerships, and he's quite wealthy."
And major Burt Kreischer energy.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Just dumb guy. That was cool. My enduring question that I couldn't Google or forgot to, I can't remember, how the Adam Driver's arm was so convincing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The missing arm, like I assume he wore a green
his hand
thing. Yeah,
he's got an arm.
hand.
Right. It's like second half
point
of
of
his
contention.
lower arm down or whatever. I
Yeah.
assume they just like put him in green, and then he's got prosthetics. But crazy.
Yeah, because his left arm looked thicker,
Right.
like than his other arm. Yeah.
But it's not like he was doing this. Like his way. That's too odd. Like
he wasn't chicken
wouldn't
winging it.
scan.
Yeah.
So yeah, chicken wing for the listeners, people who aren't watching the show. Very strange and very convincing. I was just going, man, it's almost distracting. Like it looks so good how they do it.
He's a method actor. He cut it off. He went all in.
Let the arm die. Kill it if you have to.
There it is. Getting the Star Wars reference out
They
early.
like start cutting off, and he's like, more, more.
James Earl Jones there's like, I did it for you. I loved the two. So so many characters. The plot's kind of, as heist movies go, it's pretty spaghetti. Like there's a lot going on, a lot of characters. It was interesting to me that the movie doesn't have an antagonist really. Like we've got
Is it
the British guy?
Because in the Ocean's movies, yeah, you got that main guy who like owns the casino, and he's like sleeping with George Clooney's wife. So there's
Spoilers.
that kind of.
Just kidding.
Oh shit!
But in the 1960s Ocean's 11 movie, there's again not really an antagonist, really. Like there is a guy that tries to figure out, and there's a whole thing with the money at the end. And there was a nod to the original Ocean's movie. I'm not sure about the 2001 one, but in the original Ocean's 11, the Rat Pack film, the money gets dumped at the dump. They get rid of the money in the same way. It goes
Nice.
from garbage
Wow.
trucks, and they pick it up at the dump. And I was like, that is too coincidental to have not been a nod to
Yeah.
the original 1960s Ocean film. And much like in the original 1960s Ocean's 11, the money's gone basically at the end of this movie. Although, unlike Ocean's 11, it's not like lost comedically, and they kind of end that movie just going, well,
Yeah.
which is pretty cool. Also, no one dies in this movie, which happens in the original Ocean's 11. It's a really good.
That's sure right.
It's a bit slow. The 1960s film,
Yeah.
So, the original Ocean's 11. It's a bit slow, and you can tell. Like, obviously, I know the big like 3 Rat Pack guys, but there's other dudes in the movie where I'm like, oh, I'm sure I would be snapping my fingers at my television, going, oh, if these celebrities endured in the way that Sinatra and Dean Martin have, but that's not the case. As is true with other Rat Pack films. But this movie also, the pacing's kind of slowish.
For sure.
It's a long feeling 2 hours.
Yeah.
Not boring, but the setup is a while. Especially
And then
the
there's
first,
a lot-
30 minutes.
There's a lot after the heist happens.
Yeah.
There is
It was like
Yeah.
a whole 30 minutes afterwards.
right, and I'm like, what the hell are we gonna do for
we
30
doing?
minutes?
Which paid off, but in the moment I was like, all right, when is
There's
this going to
there's a
end?
moment at the end where they're kind of they do the flashback scenes to him getting the extra couple bags, and I'm like, and then they explain other things that I'm just not. Maybe I missed it. I was also hungover, but maybe I missed some things because, like, for example, the thing that tripped the gate sensor that wouldn't
Yeah.
let the. What was the point of showing us that?
Right. Why did
You
he do
watched
it?
the movie 4,000 times. Did we miss
that
something?
I think it was to slow it down, or to slow them down so we could get the bags and kind of like.
Okay,
take it,
and then
to
there was
the
the
dumpster.
the smoking guy with that whole deal.
That was
I think he
because-
was just to distract the guards. Yeah.
Like
So-
that
No,
he
because
was
they were
in on
looking,
it.
They were he was in on it, but they were looking for the smoke that came through the
Right, so they had the dude smoking.
Yeah.
To
Yeah.
Make it
and they were the dumbest
He's a
guards in the
decoy.
world.
Right.
So they're like all of that smoke clearly came from one man's cigarette.
right. It was crazy. And then like the Daniel Craig's characters. What's his name?
Joe Bang.
Joe Bang. I almost said Joe Boom. Thank God. Joe Bang.
That would have been embarrassing.
His 2 cousins, brothers, family members, whatever they were.
Brothers. Yeah.
Jack Quaid
Bob,
from
Yeah.
The Boys, also
Boys.
son to Dennis Quaid, I think.
bobbing for pig's feet.
Is that what that was?
Yeah.
I couldn't tell.
Oh,
what it
I
was.
was wondering if that was a. thing.
It's not a
West
thing.
Virginia, we bought big slate.
Listen, I was in the city, so.
Oh, you were a city slate. You were a
Yeah.
yuppie.
Oh,
Not
But
a
you put me out in Boone County. It's hard to tell.
We got a fake stolen valor West Virginian among us.
Oh, God.
no wonder you don't have an accent.
Okay, I have a West Virginia question.
'Kay.
Is there a genuine affinity for country roads? Or is it like, because
Yes.
hadn't he never been
You-
there or something?
Who?
Who the
Who
hell
is-
wrote the song?
John Denver.
John Denver, yeah.
No. John
Isn't there
Denver
some
been there.
fact
The,
like
the
that?
co-writer hadn't been there. Like the guy who wrote
Okay, that was it.
probably the majority of it.
Is there an affinity or are people like,
No,
"Ooh,
there
who's
are.
that
There
song?"
is. At the end of this movie, whenever spoilers, whatever,
The daughter
sings the song instead of Rihanna.
Yeah.
I was in my living room going, like, starting to sing along. I'm like, how do you not sing along to this song? And then the audience started singing along. I was like, this is real.
This is real.
This is real. That's exactly what would have
Great
happened.
scene.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Wow.
That's a really cool, and that was, it's his moral turnaround. Channing Tatum's character's kind of moral turnaround. Well, he's already turned around because he's already gotten rid of all the money, basically. Like, he covers everybody's ass
Yeah.
by getting rid of the...
There's no one loses at the end of this movie.
No.
Yeah.
Because he returns enough of the money that, like, insurance covers the rest.
Yeah.
So the Speedway is taken care of. He takes care of even
Everybody.
He takes... The person that he took care of that made me smile the most is he gave the bank vault lady...
The cake lady. Yeah.
cake lady.
yeah.
He gave her money because she would have been under fire because she's in charge of the vault and all the money's
yeah.
missing. So that was cool. And
And her car got damaged.
And her car got damaged, and Ryan Blaney gave her a cake.
Ryan Blaney, man.
Cameron literally goes like, "Hey, it's your boy." Wait a minute. That actually is your boy.
I didn't look at the wiki.
It was a joke.
So did you read all the cameos?
I just saw Kyle Busch, Joey Logano.
Okay, so they were the state troopers.
Yeah.
That pulled over. What's his face?
No, they were the
Purple Lady.
Yeah, they pulled over Purple Lady.
Logano was
Logano was
in
at
the parking lot.
Yeah.
Logano
The
and
ladies' car.
Brad Keselowski
Yeah.
were in they were the security guards in the parking lot.
And then Kyle
Joey
Busch
Logano and Kyle Busch were the state troopers that pulled over Purple Lady. And Ryan Blaney delivered the cake. And did you catch the last one?
Hang on, I wrote them down.
Oh, you
In my notes.
cheated.
My notes.
Okay.
I didn't catch any of those cameos.
Well, of course not. They're drivers like now.
Ryan Blaney, Brad Keselowski, Jimmy, Kyle Busch. You had the guys in the booth, Jeff Gordon and Mike Joy.
Well, that's not cameo. Well, I guess it kind of is.
Well, yeah.
There's one you're missing.
When did it happen?
The limousine driver at the end.
There's no.
The
it
dude
was
in the
impossible.
jail
Oh,
that's
I didn't.
coordinating
I
like the
didn't.
riots.
You
or
I
whatever.
didn't pay
barely
attention.
see him.
It's Larson.
No way.
Yeah. It's Larson. You can see his face at
That's
the intro shot
unbelievable.
when he goes to open the door because he's far enough away. And then, like, if you know his voice, but that one was a rough one. Like, I missed
Yeah.
it. We had to go back in the movie because I was like, wait, there was one more.
That's
and
funny.
it was Larson.
I'm gonna go watch
who
it now.
drove for Chip Ganassi at the time in the 42 Target car before he got fired for saying the N-word on a Twitch stream in 2020 when NASCAR was doing iRacing.
And then the most popular team was like, we'll take you.
Then he did sensitivity training and sat out a season. And then the
Sensitivity
most
training.
dominant team in NASCAR history picked him up. And now he's one of the most successful and talented drivers ever. So, hey, maybe say the N-word and it gets you ahead in life. I don't friggin' know. Consequences, not a thing if you're a NASCAR driver.
Nope. Oh, a talented NASCAR driver.
Right.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta
true.
have
He's-
the
That's wild.
skills.
Well, and his, he is one of the most gifted people to hold a steering wheel in the
mean,
history of time.
yeah.
He's unbelievable. Right, Carl?
Yep. Am I supposed to wake up yet?
Yeah, you're good. Actually, can you go to sleep for one more second?
Yeah.
They say several times during the movie, this actually pissed me off. They say a couple times during the movie, quote, the Coca-Cola 600 is the biggest race of the year.
It's not.
No, it is.
It's not.
Get your facts right.
It is the longest race of the year. 600 delineates the miles. So it's a 600-mile long race. That is the longest race by distance of the year.
The
It
most
is
popular.
The biggest race of the year
Right.
is the Daytona 500.
Yes.
That is undisputed.
As seen on my koozie tonight.
Do you hear a sound?
Yeah, I thought I heard
thought
a dog
someone
vomiting.
retching.
Yeah, I heard
Oh,
it.
Phoebe.
Oh, she's
Oh.
She's honking the pig.
We've got a pig toy that oinks.
I heard a sound and I was like, "That's a vomiting dog." But it
just real
wasn't.
life.
It's just
It was a pig.
That's just real life. So
You
yeah, the
know.
500 is bigger.
Life happens.
It's undisputably the biggest race of the year. I was unable to find attendance figures. NASCAR doesn't release. She's going to not
Sorry.
be able to have that. NASCAR doesn't really release attendance figures from what I can tell, but I did get the Nelson data
Oh.
and the Daytona 500 in 2016, the year that this movie was supposed to take place. It pulled double the viewership. Because of course it did. It's the 500 is weird. NASCAR is very strange in that the biggest event of the year is the first event of the year. They curtain jerk with the Super Bowl, essentially. It's the only sport that does that.
I went to it this year. If you can go, please go. It's amazing.
It's very hot.
It was very rainy.
Cold. My dad has frozen to death at Daytona in February and been really hot. It's Florida, baby.
This year it just rained a lot and it got delayed, and then everything was just wet and gross.
Happened to me with the 400 2 years ago. Although this year's 400,
Perfect.
perfect.
It's because I was there.
It's a little warm.
I'm good luck.
Your good luck. All of
Yeah.
our drivers were out of the race.
For the weather. Listen, my luck.
Leave her outside the track.
Listen.
Dad and,
Get the good weather.
Dad and I's drivers crashed out in stage 1, and we both went, you two are never coming back.
My luck can only go so far. It worked for the
Is
weather,
NASCAR
not the drivers.
superstitious?
It's a
Like
little
baseball?
stitious. No, nothing is as superstitious as baseball. Nothing. Although I have an
Nothing.
anecdote for you. Actually, there's one. The one exception I have is Dale Earnhardt had a superstition that $50 bills were bad luck, so he never carried a 50. If someone gave him a 50, he would ask for 2 20s and a 10. He never had a 50, and now all the Earnhardts carry that tradition.
And then on the never mind.
There's also right.
In his wallet was a $50 bill.
There's also a couple I've heard stories of like lucky pennies in NASCAR and people taping certain things on their dashboard. So yes, but it's
nice.
driver specific. I'm not sure.
I mean, I
it's-
got a hat.
Yeah, I have a baseball hat that's like I wear my yellow Rays hat for every Rays playoff game. But baseball, I mean, baseball takes the cake. It's the most superstitious sport by miles, dude. Down to like, I get pissed off if I'm watching a baseball game or if I know a perfect game is happening because there's a superstition in baseball. If a no-hitter or a perfect game is happening, you don't talk about it because you'll jinx it. But then everybody's
You gave
phone
it a
lights
mouth.
up with like,
Yeah.
no-hitter watch. And it's like, bro, we have a literal 100, 200-year running long superstition for not talking about no-hitters. And now we're all getting Yahoo Sports alerts about it. It just pisses me off.
Do a lot of the drivers do that kind of OS software thing that Sebastian Stan's driver was doing, or is that was that a parody of any current driver?
I don't think so. I had a couple issues with the Sebastian Stan portion of the movie, namely the part where he's driving in the race. Because, they do the Lightning McQueen thing where he suddenly gets speed in dirty air.
I don't know. I
which
shook
is
my head
just-
at that.
That's just bullshit. Like, you can't... If you're in a pack, you are going as fast as you can. You're not going to go and gain 3 spots in dirty air like that.
Yeah.
And also, the wreck that he does looked like it happened at 45 miles an hour. Watch some NASCAR wrecks. That shit's crazy.
They could have just pulled some Austin Dillon footage. It would have been fine.
Right. The average speed for that race particularly was 160.73 miles an hour. That was the average speed they were
crazy.
doing. If you wreck at 160.73 miles an hour, you aren't going to gently skid into the... Like, if as soon as that car hit the grass, it's flipping. It's flipping.
Yeah.
And it's flipping many times, and he's going to end up like Ryan Preece. But as far as the OS fitness thing goes, fitness in racing is a relatively new-ish, similar to how like Tiger Woods.
I feel like I've seen it in like Formula One.
Formula
a little
One's
bit more.
different. Formula One is different because they are pulling higher G forces in corners. So they do exercises where I will like say I'm training you for Formula One. I'll take a elastic like band thing, like the stretching bands, and I'll just pull your head. Because we have to strengthen your neck to not snap under the weight of a helmet when we're pulling 9 Gs in a turn. For Formula One at 212 miles an hour, you're turning.
So crazy.
That's
So, but
insane.
NASCAR, no, they do have neck fitness. for sure. They do cardio. Like people say that NASCAR drivers aren't athletes. They 100% are training in the gym. They do sauna training because the average temperature of a NASCAR, like in July in Texas, is 135 degrees. There's no air conditioning in those things. Some drivers run water suits. Some don't. Water suits make you heavier. So you don't necessarily want to do that. And it's grueling, man. You're in there for 500 miles.
Some of them got like straws, essentially, like tubes into their helmet so that they can drink water throughout the race.
So yeah, they do condition. They didn't as much in the old days. You just get in and run. But it's not, I wouldn't say, and I'm kind of speaking out of school, but I can't imagine it would be as rigorous as Formula One. And there's freaking debates up for which sport is harder. Right now, the debates are raging because Kyle Larson said if you put him in Max Verstappen's Formula One car, he would be faster, which is absolute horseshit. I'm a bigger NASCAR fan than I am a Formula One. There is no way. And the flip side is you're not putting Max Verstappen in a cup car and he's not running top 20. There's one driver that I know of who's run both, and it's Juan Pablo Montoya. Was an F1 driver. He currently races, I believe, part-time in IMSA. But he raced in the Cup Series. He's famous for crashing into the back of a jet dryer during the Daytona 500 and exploding. But he said on Top Gear, hilariously, that he thought NASCAR was more difficult because in Formula One, I mean, the racing surfaces are impeccable unless you're at Las Vegas. They're impeccable. NASCAR, your car's jumping grooves. It's not sturdy. It's not stable. So you're doing this just to go straight in a brick with no power. You know what I mean? Like it's just different. It's just different. Formula One cars are made to go as fast as they possibly can. NASCAR cars are made to race in packs, beat and bang. Yeah. It's just different style. It's apples and oranges. Yeah. It's apples and oranges, really. It's like comparing BMX to like the Tour de France. It's just completely different. Enough about that, though. Let's talk about a heist movie. We talked about Sebastian Stan's character. He was, I guess, the character. Like again, we don't have antagonists, so their characters were kind of weird. It's like they showed up at the beginning just to show up at the end.
Yeah.
When the FBI was investigating or whatever, which that was kind of a whole like we had their driver manager like sponsor fallout like didn't corroborate his story, so they couldn't tie the thing back to the boys at the bar, like like there was that whole thing and the jail warden's like ineptitude and refusal to call the incident in like. All of those things that happened made the story impossible for the FBI people to make.
It was all very convenient.
But that
didn't bother me.
Kind of heist movies, though. Like
it is, but it was all like also that was the point of the montaginess at the end was to go like, oh no, Channing Tatum's character like planned all of this because like the prison riot in the cafeteria room stopped at the 300-mile mark. They went, all right, halfway through the race, we should be done. And then they stopped the riot, and then they snuck him in through as firemen. And
it was fun to watch the prison stuff because I'm currently watching a 20-year-old show that just made its way back to Netflix called Prison Break.
Oh.
I just finished season 1. It does not hold up, if anyone's curious. But it was funny coming from that, which is like...
Is it a drama or like a...
It's very much a drama.
Okay.
Zero comedy.
I meant like, is it like a Bachelor style? Like we put these contestants to see if they could leave a job. But no, it's a drama. Okay.
It's just a show.
It's just a show.
It's just a... God, it's not reality is what I meant.
Yeah.
But no, everything there is like high stakes, and there's all these complex characters, and they're just kind of like taking a thing off the wall and sneaking out of the prison, and just super easy.
Easy peasy, no problem. I wanted to know, how did they get the things up and then get in them?
Under the car.
Like under the boxes under the
really strong
how
magnets?
How did they secure them and then get into them?
Well, I imagine they hooked on to like the jack points, for example, or the exhaust mount or something.
Yeah,
the exhaust mount wouldn't be strong enough. But then, like, did they have perhaps the car facing side like tall, and they had a lower wall on that, so they could like shimmy in and roll in? I'm not sure.
I feel like they were like boats because they mirrored underneath it. I don't know. It's a movie, so it doesn't
mean,
matter.
did they
It
have help?
doesn't matter.
No, it's just the two of them.
Just two of them. Just saying.
Yeah.
And one of them had one arm. One-armed people are perfectly capable of doing everyday things, including escaping a prison. Just had to put that out there.
Oh gosh.
If you guys were in jail and you had 5 months left of a sentence, would you risk it?
Hell no.
Absolutely
No
not.
way.
Dude,
No way.
What is the number? Is it
none.
like
Zero number.
Yeah, I mean, none for me.
5 years?
No. I'm chilling. What I would
Definitely-
do is
definitely not
if
months.
I'm in there for life, I might as well do whatever I can.
Life for
life's
sure.
different,
Like, to get
though.
out?
But like,
Yeah.
like say we did
Well,
like
just you might as well have fun along the way.
if I did the Chase Infinite Money glitch and went to jail for federal check fraud, a bunch of people are getting hit with that TikTok trend.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
No, I mean, you get a 10-year sentence or whatever. I'm going to be one of those people in jail that like tries to be on good behavior so I can go to the library and like do a college degree or something. Like that
Yeah.
that would be what I would want to do.
Yeah.
Not
You're not going to be in there making shanks.
No.
Toilet
No.
wine.
No. The scariest thing for me in jail would be the gang stuff.
Yeah.
Like I'm quite small. I don't want to be anybody's bitch. You
Just
know?
gotta get on their good side.
But like, you have to pick a gang or whatever. Like, I can't be in the Latino gang because I'm white. I don't want to be a skinhead. You know what I mean? So I don't know what I would do.
You got that flowing hair, yeah.
I know. That's the problem.
Yeah.
You look good from behind.
Grab a hold of my pocket.
Yeah,
No.
dude, it's gross. I don't want
Is
to go
Joe
to jail.
Bang dyeing his hair platinum blonde? Is that his natural color? Because how is he doing that?
Ooh.
Like,
There's cleaning fluids in prison, maybe.
It's all the chemicals that
he's just
DuPont.
literally bleaching it.
yeah,
It's all the
actual.
chemicals that DuPont dumped in the water in West Virginia. It's turning his hair blonde. That's
'Cause that's a good point. How did he?
why
bleach
Nick
his
doesn't
hair?
have any
Yeah.
actually.
It's true. Real
So
story.
with
Fact
hair
check
that
it.
short, you'd have to bleach it all the time,
All the time.
constantly.
Yeah.
His roots
His roots would be growing in so immediately.
so immediately.
So,
I was gonna say so fast, and then I decided to say immediately because that's quicker.
Hashtag hair facts. Think about his roots, Carl.
Think about his roots.
Think about
I
it.
know.
How are your roots doing?
I can't seem to find them. I pulled all my
dead.
roots out.
I gotta get a foghorn sound effect.
Yeah.
Carl, go ahead.
I have a question. Who and what and why was the bear in the woods?
That was so funny. I die at that every time. Like, very Napoleon Dynamite vibes. Like, it just seems like it's like some random thing. Like, I don't know what that
Then
was.
it
but
disappeared?
kills me.
They handed
Yeah.
him the bag full of something. I don't
I think it
remember
was
what
like
was in the
his
bag.
The
chemical
craziest part is
stuff.
when he walks away, he disappears. Like they
Oh,
have
yeah,
his
yeah.
character
Really there?
fade away, and I'm like, what the hell? And the dudes
Never
react.
explained.
They react to it too. They're like, ugh. And then it's never explained. And I like it that it's never explained.
I took
That's the
that. I
best.
took that as they were just like standing there watching him walk away. So like after he was gone, they were still there. Like that's what I took.
Like
that as.
wondering what the heck is this
Yeah.
guy's
What?
deal?
Why is there a man in the woods and a bear?
It's the bear in the woods. Oh,
Is Carl the only person who's seen the Oceans movies?
Yeah, I
haven't.
haven't seen them.
Okay. Where is this at for you? Is it as good? Are they better?
It's different. I also didn't know that the same guy did
Okay.
both. I just thought this was like, oh, this is just like Ocean's 11. No, it's the same guy.
That's funny.
He
It's funny
actually-
you mentioned the pacing.
He
Wait,
actually
what?
didn't write it, so he was presented the script by this fake person,
Or real
and
person.
went like
Or it was him, yeah.
He was also soft retired at the time. Soderbergh was.
Yeah.
So he read the script and went, "Oh, this is like the Al-Qaeda version of Ocean's 11. I have to do this." And he came out of retirement and did it. But so you didn't know.
Well, I was
but,
gonna say, you mentioned the pacing. Like, I like to think it was like a deliberate choice to kind of match the location. Like Vegas is very fast and quick cut. This is kind of like slower and more southern, where it's like, we're taking our time with things. I like to think of it as a deliberate choice.
Right.
I don't know if that's necessarily what it was supposed to be or not, but I feel like this movie doesn't really sell like the emotional reason that they're doing it. Like they're just kind of
Yeah.
doing it.
Because he got fired,
I
right?
don't-
He's mad.
For his
Yeah,
daughter.
but
Revenge.
They
they
seem
don't
to have
really
had
spend.
a criminal history, I guess.
His
That they're
daughter's moving.
It's more just like when the brothers were like, "What do you think?" Yeah, that's kind of like all they needed to do. That's like the whole movie is just like, "You want to do it? Yeah, let's do it." So I mean, I don't have a problem with it. I think that's
I
great.
kind of
Just
think
do it.
we
Rob the
might.
place, but
I think we kind of might have been supposed to be as surprised as Adam Driver's character when he says cauliflower to him the first time. He's like, "Did you say cauliflower to me?"
yeah.
You know, and like
The last
whole,
time you said,
yeah, that whole deal. So I will say the reason that the '60s Ocean's 11 is slow is because it takes a long time to introduce 11 people one
That'll
by
do it.
one with their own like character introductions. It takes forever. So I hope to God the 2001 one is quicker than that.
It has to be.
I feel like it's a lot quicker. Yeah.
Half the
we
damn
had
movie
to-
of the '60s film is gathering the group. It's crazy.
We had to have had close to 11, right? Characters in this movie.
I think we had participating
Like 7 or 8.
across
You got
everybody. Maybe
Joe Bang and his two brothers. You got the Clyde and Jimmy. You got Melly. That's
and
6.
then that one
Smoking
random
guy.
guy with that smoked.
Smoking guy.
The
jail guy.
Jail.
Oh, you
Oh,
got
right,
the
yeah.
entire prison on your
The
side.
entire.
I guess.
Yeah.
Well, but the
basically,
one guy,
yeah.
Joe Bang got the one guy
Yeah.
too.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Like, I got a proposition for you.
yeah.
Purple car
So
lady.
that's like 8.
Purple hair lady.
Purple car
But she
lady.
Oh,
wasn't
purple
really
car
a
lady.
part
Sorry,
of
no,
it.
he mentioned
She
her. He
was-
mentioned her already. So yeah, 8 or
So-
8 or 9, yeah.
8 or 9.
Yeah.
Not 11.
Ocean's 8.
There is an
Okay.
Ocean's 8.
Oh, never mind.
I
That was
liked
already
it.
taken, so they just went, what rhymes with Logan?
That's the Sandra Bullock one that came out in 20.
Lucky don't rhyme with
Something.
Logan.
Something.
No, but it has the
18,
same letter.
19.
18. So you've seen that one.
Yeah, I
You've
have
seen
that one.
Ocean's 8.
Alliteration.
Yeah, I saw the one with the women.
Is it okay?
I liked it,
All right.
but I have no frame of reference for the other ones.
Yeah, we've moved on.
2 conversations.
We're still talking
I've
about.
got a question for Nick.
Uh-oh.
Did you notice the gigantic watch on Joe Bang's arm at the end of the movie?
Oh.
Of course not.
I
It
did.
is obnoxious.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
It's like one of those with like a big leather band.
Yeah, it's
too.
like a leather
Like,
strap that's like 3 widths widthier than mine. Just think about it.
I
With a little watch face.
I got you.
I
I
had
didn't.
trouble with this movie because I asked Carl last week, is it a bit nice guys-ish? And in my opinion, it is not really nice guys-ish. I just feel like the tone,
I'm trying to remember Nice Guys.
Ryan Gosling, Russell Crowe.
Oh,
Screaming.
no. it's
Like-
not
which
really
way
Nice
wasn't it?
Guys-ish.
Like the.
I just feel like the
or-
tone,
pacing.
the pacing,
It wasn't
the
as
tone.
like, heavy.
It's not violent.
Yeah.
It's kind of chill.
Yeah.
It wasn't as like the way the humor landed was very different. There was like the line delivery and the lack of background music was very like
Yeah.
stood out to me a lot. I don't mean this is a bad thing, but just like 15 minutes into the movie, I'm like, okay, I need to adjust my expectations because I went in expecting something a little bit
Yeah.
more flashy.
Sexy.
Sexy.
I guess where I was drawing the
That's a good-
comparison was that there's kind of a twist at the end.
Okay.
There's kind of goofy characters that
Yeah.
work together.
I see that.
But yeah, there's not much else to draw from comparison.
At the end, it's just like Shutter Island.
Yeah, it's just like Shutter Island.
This is just like Signs. Yeah.
God, I had another Nick question and it's gone.
Oh, man. So many questions for me.
Well, you're from West Virginia.
Here's the thing that
Oh.
bothered me.
Go ahead. I
And
got a stupid question for
I
you.
don't. I thought you guys might have brought it up by now. West Virginia
Okay.
Almost heaven.
and North Carolina.
They're
Yeah.
so far away.
They're not close.
Oh, I looked that up.
They're not close. It's a 4.5 hour drive from Boone County
Yeah.
to the track.
Yeah.
And he did all the heist and made it back to his daughter's
Not only that,
pageant.
he's and he's working on this job site and like going to pick his daughter up later.
Yeah.
At the beginning of the movie.
4.5
They
hour
are
drive.
Quite far from one another.
That really bothered me.
Yeah.
I didn't know if it was just I grew up there, so I'm thinking about it. Maybe other people weren't thinking about it.
Well, it ended up looking like is Charlotte in northern North Carolina. No, sir. It is not.
We thought about it as soon as he like left and was driving back home. We were like, "What?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
made no sense.
This is crazy."
There's geographical holes in this script.
yeah.
But we need country roads.
Miss Rebecca, so-called whatever her fake person is.
I mean, that's probably the closest NASCAR track to West Virginia. Or Bristol.
Bristol, Tennessee, Watkins.
Who's
Glen.
to say?
There's so many.
I don't know.
Moving on.
and
Moving on.
since I'm
Really doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't. Since I'm complaining though, it also bothered me that they had so many NASCAR cameos, and they didn't just use a real driver for the driver character.
Well, real drivers can't act.
Oh, well,
But it was such a small little
like 4 or
part.
5 of them did in this movie.
For half a line.
Yeah.
And there was one like
And even then, Logano's was like, ugh.
yeah, and Kyle Busch had a line, and I'm like, that works only because he's a dick. That only works because he's a hateful person that I hate.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. It was fun. I was just cracking up at the cameos, man.
What was your silly Nick question?
Oh, hang on.
He already forgot.
This is called journalism. Nick, have you ever gotten a tetanus shot from an RV at a gas station?
He's hesitating.
No. I've never had a tetanus shot, probably.
Oh my God.
I really should look into my shot history because my parents were not about it.
I got yelled at for mine because they're like, you haven't gotten a tetanus shot since you were in school. And I'm like, yeah I don't.
Those are like, you don't get those a lot.
I have stepped on 3 nails since I've gotten that tetanus shot.
And here you
my
are.
jaw
And you are safe.
says, unfortunately for the masses of the world, my jaw has not locked. I don't have tetanus.
Yeah, no gas station tetanus
Is that a
shots.
thing?
I hope not.
Can I say that lady, her haircut was terrible.
Awful.
Terrible. Sylvia.
Awful.
Come on,
Also-
Sylvia, go do better.
Her
Get
whole
better hair.
character was kind of pointless.
No, they
what?
were dating at the end.
Okay.
Love.
Romance.
Love.
Bounce back. His wife was a see you next Thursday with
Yeah.
her dumb new
Oh my
rich
God, she was
dumb
the
husband.
only one not having a good time when her daughter was singing.
Yeah.
Like, she was just sitting
You're
there,
supposed to be
straight face,
singing
not
Rihanna.
happy.
Well, she was like the female version of like the insufferable T-ball dad who's like yelling at the umpire like you didn't do exactly what you're supposed to do.
I mean, she's a pageant mom.
Yeah,
like
the
that's
worst.
a thing. Yeah.
The worst.
She
Pageant
seems to have a
mom.
little bit of a come around at the end, but yeah, not enough.
Yeah, they make nice at the
I
end
thought
of the movie.
I thought the casting of his daughter was pretty on point. She had the perfect
She's cute.
She very clearly was from a West Virginia.
Oh, you think? Okay.
State. Or had an incredible accent for a 6-year-old.
She had one of those faces that you know exactly what she's going to look like when
Yeah.
she grows up. Not all kids. Like some kids change a lot, and I looked at her and I went, I know exactly what you're going to look like in 20 years.
My brother will look at people and just be like, "That's the Kentucky jaw right there. I can see it. I can see it. She's from Kentucky."
That's not what I meant.
Nope, that's exactly what he
I
meant.
don't want to disparage this young girl. Speaking of looks, Hilary Swank scares me.
Oh yeah, she's intense in this.
Scary.
But is she hot?
No,
Oh.
I thought she was pretty hot at the end.
I don't-
When she
I
was
don't
trying
like
to seduce
it.
Adam
When
Driver.
she was out of her like FBI suit, you know?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's talk about that. Also, well, first, I was trying to put a finger on what I recognize Hilary Swank from. $1 Million Baby.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't seen
But
that
you haven't
movie, but
seen it.
I just know from the
Of the movie.
from the movie. $1 Million
Was
Baby.
it, is that the boxing movie?
That's
Yes.
the boxing movie where she breaks
And
her
the
neck on a stool.
suicide movie.
Don't like
What the
that.
hell are we talking about? Oh, the ending.
Hilary Swank.
The Hilary Swank's character at the bar. Is she at the bar flirting with Adam Driver because she is still going off the hunch that they were involved, so she's going to watch them and hope to catch them out?
I think she's playing the long game. She's not supposed to be working on it anymore, but she's got to like figure it out for herself at this point because she's never been. I feel like she's never had a case that she couldn't crack.
Well,
And
'cause
she's
the
like,
person
I got to
that-
get this one.
The person that told her not to work on it anymore, if I'm not mistaken, was the
Charlotte.
the Speedway guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not her boss.
Which did his upper lip seem real sweaty?
I don't remember.
I didn't notice.
And
Okay.
I don't know if that's the real. Like, there's
Okay.
like
I
kind
watched
of.
it. I was like, he's hiding something. Like he's sweating right now. He's trying to get them out of. I might be reading too much into
I should have
it.
looked up who that was, but this movie, probably because it didn't do super well, there's not a ton of information on it, which is why I struggled with when it was filmed and whatnot.
Yeah.
But like there's kind of two governing bodies that run NASCAR tracks. Some are managed by NASCAR, some are managed by an external entity. Like, was it an actual NASCAR guy or was that an actor kind of
gotcha.
deal is where I'm going with that. It also seemed odd that he was requesting that the FBI stop looking into it. Like, is that your call?
Yeah.
So the Hillary Swank, like, now the thing that bugs me more about the ending is we kind of ended with a shot of Adam Driver's old prosthetic arm.
Yeah.
Why?
It was fun.
Yeah. Like, you know, he wants that arm back so bad, and then he's got like an arm that Elon Musk designed in his spare time before he turned into Space
How is he
Hitler.
getting it to do hand things? How is it operating?
Those are real, and I don't know.
Like, because I was like, how is he? There's no buttons on it. He's not. Is it in your head? Like,
I mean,
is
it might be-
Sometimes they
mind?
do have buttons though, or like okay. I think that I know that there are prosthetic legs that I believe they'll like put something in the other shoe or something that triggers it to
mimic.
move on a cadence.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if like he's got something because he still had his elbow. Like, could he flex his elbow? Like, if he flexes the part of his
Right.
arm he has like up, does it open the hand? If he flexes it down, does it close the hand? You know, are there? I don't know. Let's ask Adam Driver
Cool
how
arm,
his
though.
fake
Yeah.
prosthetic arm works.
Well, it's real. Method act.
Yeah, method
Yeah.
acting. Chopped his arm off. All right, let's move on to hit, miss, or miss if no one has anything else to say.
No.
Hit, miss, or miss?
Oh, I did have one other thing. I thought it was funny that in the last movie we have like a Harry Potter, like there's unpublished books, and in this
Right.
one we have like another
yeah.
fantasy thing that's unpublished. I thought that was kind of funny that
Was
that
it the-
thread
the-
kind of
the-
continued.
Yeah, I turned
the
to
Game of
Dan-
Thrones.
I turned
The
to-
show has moved on from the book.
It's no longer based on the books.
I turned to Danielle
So
at that
funny.
at that point in the movie, and I went, you know, he's still writing that shit. It's not
Yeah,
done yet,
really?
and he'll never finish it.
Yeah.
Instead, he's
Crazy.
complaining about House of the Dragon. He literally like wrote a blog post complaining about it, how it strayed far away from the that book that House of the Dragon is drawing from. And I'm like, how about you write your book,
Finish it.
man?
Yeah.
I think
Give us
he's
some source
discouraged
material.
because like Game
Maybe-
of Thrones finished without him,
Yeah.
and so now
Or maybe
like,
they stole all his ideas.
no way, because that sucked. In fact, that season sucked so bad. That group of two brothers, so they I forget the directors of the Game of Thrones series, the showrunners, but they have adapted basically everything they've done that's successful had source material. And then they ran
one
out of
thing.
source material with the last season of Game of Thrones, and it was a train wreck, and it cost them a Star Wars trilogy.
Rip.
They sucked at Game of Thrones, and Lucasfilm pulled their offer to do Star Wars.
Like a new trilogy?
Yeah. Pulled
mean-
the offer because they went, oh, you guys can't do a show without source material, so you're
probably for
out
the
of here.
best.
Oh, yeah. Definitely for the best. Just have
The
to
Star
throw
Wars we
Star
got now
Wars
has
one more
been
time.
really good. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so good. I love all of it. No
Yeah.
complaints. Hit or miss. I'll start just because I feel like it. I had fun with the movie.
Okay.
I think it's a hit for me. I think if I had to rate it, though, I'd give it like, I don't know, 7.8 out of 10. Like, I don't think it's amazing. I'm not like, wow, what a masterpiece. But a fun movie. And that's what that movie's job is, to be fun. Good movie, great movie. I've recommended it to people
Yeah.
in the days since I've watched it. I've been like, that was a fun movie. You should watch it.
Yeah. Same.
So, good movie. Nick.
I'm going to go hit because West Virginia, because NASCAR, because Boone County. I don't know. It was fun. It hit all the right things for me. Country roads, man.
Yep.
I did sing the spicy version
Oh, the
as
better
the kid was
version.
singing it.
Yeah.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. They started playing the version, like the widely distributed version at
Yeah.
the beginning of the movie.
Like, this ain't the right
Yeah,
one.
just from the intro, I was like, not my favorite. Not my favorite
Spicy
one.
version.
Danielle.
I kind of want to go mid. Like, I liked it. I enjoyed it.
So it's a hit. Just kidding. I'm kidding.
I don't know. Like,
Everybody
it
gets their own
wasn't.
scale.
I don't know. Like, if I was going to give it a number, it's closer to like a 6 for me.
Oh, so that's resolutely
You know,
mid.
like it wasn't amazing.
What holds you back?
I don't know. Like,
Pacing,
It's because I compared it to Nice Guys.
Nice Guys.
When
my
expectations too high.
expectations were
Yeah.
different.
set up to fail.
No, like it felt kind of Big Lebowski-ish in a way to
Yeah.
me.
Okay.
And I don't
Is
love.
that a Coen film?
Yes.
Big Lebowski. Yeah.
I don't love that. I just don't. This isn't my favorite style of storytelling in movies. You know, it made sense and it was done well and it was good, but like I don't.
Do you mean that dialogue wise?
Yeah, the way like
Kinda
everything was
dry?
just delivered very dry and straight, not badly. Like That's what's interesting. It didn't feel wooden. It didn't feel like bad acting. It just felt like
Right, like you're not saying you want someone to like look
Maybe
and
too
wink
understated?
at the camera and be
Right.
stupid.
right. Like it was
Okay.
done well, but this just isn't my favorite like
You want
stylization
maybe a little
of a
more
movie.
flash,
Yeah.
sexiness, like triple A
something.
Hollywood production.
I guess.
Okay.
I mean, not that I need everything to be like crazy, because like Big Sick is kind of very calm.
Right, but that's resounding.
But-
Like that's firmly an indie.
But it's got a bit
feeling
more
film.
heart to it. You know, this was kind of a little bit, you know, which although he was adorable with his daughter, I loved
Yeah.
the little, you know,
Yeah.
they had a great relationship, but they were cute. So I don't know. It was just.
Phoebe.
It was a good movie. I did not like it. I think it was done well, but it just wasn't like it didn't like spark excitement in me.
Spark joy.
Yeah. So mid,
Phoebe's living her life.
but a good midpoint five,
a good.
midpoint five, if you will.
I didn't hate it, but I wouldn't order it again.
I wouldn't. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
All right, let's close Hip and Miss with Carl, who suggested this movie. Can you also state why you suggested the movie?
Well, it
why
was just
bring
one of
this
those
one
movies.
forward?
Like, I had like it was one that I hadn't really heard much about, and I saw it on like Amazon Prime, and I was like, I gave it a watch, and I was like just pleasantly surprised by it. And I think it does a lot of things well. I think the cinematography is pretty great. I think the heist is done really well. Like the twist at the end. I like that the brothers kind of have this unspoken kind of understanding. They have each other's back. I like that he takes care of everybody. I like that he's like good dad. Maybe not a good husband, but a good dad.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I just think it's a fun kind of. I just like a good heist movie. So I don't know. I think it's a hit. And yeah.
Phoebe's being such a distraction right now.
Phoebe's so
She just
cute.
walked in the door and sat and looked at all of us indivially like a person. And
I've had her like this whole
then
time.
came over to me and then went over to Nick. She's being a problem.
Phoebe's a problem.
Phoebe problem.
No.
I will say I have to talk about the Lowe's S. At the
Okay.
end, he gets a
Lowe's
job at
S?
Lowe's.
Yes.
I'm known for hating the Lowe's logo because that S doesn't match the rest of the logo.
Oh,
It's
don't
like
do
a
this to
weird.
me.
It doesn't.
I've
It's,
never noticed
You'll never see the logo the same way
God.
again. Like it's not good.
Hold
Look
on.
at the
Oh,
Lowe's
wait.
S.
Wait. It's bad.
Yeah, a long
Oh
time
my
when
God.
when I was living in South Carolina, I think I redid the logo on my Instagram
Oh.
and I like fixed it. But it's like the rest of the logo,
Why?
it's like very. I don't
Boxy
know. I
almost.
don't know.
It's like
the rest of
straight cut?
Yeah. Yeah,
And
it's
then they
very
drop that-
geometric, and then
that
the S
Times
is like
New
a
Roman
sans.
S, yeah, like
it
the
doesn't
sans.
make any sense to do that S with the rest of that type. So I'm like, I don't know why they did it like that. Did they run out of the other letters and were like, we got to go back to the normal font? Like,
Calibri,
why-
go!
Yeah.
I hate
Put it in
that
future.
I hate that
Yeah.
I know this now.
Yeah, that's
I
why I
hate
shop
it.
at Home
It's
Depot.
like the
You know why
why I shop at
you know
Home
why
Depot.
we don't shop at Home Depot?
Tony
you know why
Stewart.
we don't is because I hate Tony Stewart and he was sponsored by Home Depot. And Jimmy Johnson was a Lowe's man. And
like-
7 championships is just more than 3. So Tony Stewart
true.
also Formula 1 driver, I believe, actually. Or IndyCar.
Really?
IndyCar. He's
Did
an
we
IndyCar
do hot
champion.
points?
I think.
Wow.
That is what it's time for. For the first time in many, many weeks.
Has it been many?
I think
guess
since
it
before
has.
Incredibles.
Yeah, you're right. No, we had some for Henry Cavill.
Yeah, but that movie sucked.
Yeah.
But he's hot.
Superman, boo.
Boo.
More like
Henry Cavill.
Midman.
Yes.
Bad. Dumb. Please do hot points and
Miss
save me from
Man.
that.
All right. Since it's been a minute, we started at 5 and we add or subtract based on my personal feelings and nothing else.
Hot points is a dictatorship.
We got a -1 because he wore too much camouflage.
We're talking about who?
I don't remember his name. Channing Tatum's character.
Channing Tatum's character.
That's
Logan.
the only. That's his last name.
Logan's the last name.
Oh, right.
Jimmy. Is his
Jimmy.
name
Jimmy.
I think,
I think his name's Jimmy. I only did hot points for him. If Adam Driver is not hot to me,
No.
Daniel
no.
Craig is obviously not hot.
Adam Driver's not hot.
Not to me.
Are
no.
you kidding me?
What about his?
There's
never mind.
some people. There's a lot of people that do
Wait.
find him hot.
There's a whole debate. Him in Star Wars with his shirt off.
He looks like just a
Oh.
guy. Just a guy.
His voice is too deep.
He's
I
got
don't
a
like
certain something that's hard to qualify.
Well, it's the it's the there's no beauty without strangers in its proportion. It's because he looks.
Ugly
this
hot.
is- that's a bit strong. Odd.
I'll say it.
He looks odd.
He's an odd
like
hot.
like
Have
he's
you
not.
heard John Oliver's like rants about him?
No.
You gotta. There's probably a compilation. Go look it up. Like John Oliver does like these ridiculous like thirst things.
Like, I
about
don't think he's hideous
So funny.
like Brad Keselowski, who looks like a horse.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
Not hot. Anyways, Jimmy, Logan, if you will, -1 for too much camo.
Okay.
I don't.
So
It's too
4.
much. Too much camo. So that puts us at a 4. There wasn't really a lot of hot activities here for me, but he did get another +1 for being cute dad. He came into the back of the auditorium. He was emotional. He was watching his daughter. He sang along. And I was like, that feels good. That warms my heart. So he got his 1 back, which puts us back to a 5 at an average.
Mid-movie, mid-man.
Yep. Now, this is Jimmy Logan, not Channing Tatum.
Right. Channing Tatum obviously is Gambit. 10 out of 10.
Not his Gambit. That accent, no.
All right. That was hot points for the first time in a long time.
That
Golf
weird,
clap for hot points. Hot points.
Gambit's weird headpiece, not hot, boo.
That's comic accurate.
Yeah, I know, but not hot, so.
Well,
It needed to come in more, I think, or something.
well, he's got that round ass head.
Yeah.
Poor Channing Tatum.
Man's head looks like a marshmallow. Like a jumbo
It does
marshmallow.
look like
Like a Lego
marsh-
man.
You're not
Yeah,
wrong.
he's got a
does look like
Lego head.
marshmallow.
He takes his, he unclips his hair at night and goes to sleep.
Aw.
When he changes clothes, he pops his head off over to a new body.
Just snaps in place.
Yeah, Legos. Channing
man.
Tatum's a Lego. Put that on a shirt.
Channing Tatum's a Lego.
All right. What the hell do we do in our show next?
20 questions.
20
20
questions. And then we pick a movie
Alright.
from the
And then we get to
bucket.
pick a movie.
Hey,
Have you ever heard about a bucket? Whose job was 20?
It is
Carl.
my turn, right?
Carl, yes.
All right.
The person who struggles with 20 questions because they use their phone to film the show and can't look at
All right.
All right, so if you're new, 20 Questions is a game that we play at the end of every show. We have our movie list. You can play along if you go to our YouTube channel. We will be picking only from movies from the past season and a half of The Big Room, just since episode 1. Technically episode 0. So we have 20 questions that a combined pool. The three of us have a combined pool of 20 questions. We will be asking Carl to try to figure out what the movie is. And so far, we've never lost.
We haven't
We've
lost.
always gotten it. So
Carl's got to count.
was last week me?
It was me.
Her. What was your movie? Oh, it was good.
Godfather.
Godfather.
And then I had the Muppet,
I was like,
the Muppet
oh
movie
my
the week before.
That's
Now,
the word. That's the
Muppets
Muppet
was
movie was
hard.
the
Muppet
closest
movie was the
one
hardest one. I was
to losing.
pretty proud of that. Pretty proud of that. Also, forgot to pick a movie, and I think I picked mid-episode, and it ended up being that difficult.
Nice.
So, all right, I've got our YouTube channel up. Who wants to
And
start
I'm
with me?
finalizing my guess right now. I got it.
All right, same as me. Who wants to start with the obligatory question?
Me, I guess.
Why don't you do it?
Did we watch it this year or last year?
This year.
Oh.
Changing it up. Yeah. This will be the easiest one ever.
What was the,
The
first?
easiest
Okay,
one
the
ever.
first. So, Smokey and the Bandit
Smokey.
forward. It's not
Yeah.
a question.
Was it released before or after the year 2000?
Oh, shit. Hold on. Let me.
Now we wait.
20 questions is easy. as
After
fun.
2000.
Oh.
After.
Yeah.
All right.
It's hard.
That's 2 questions.
Is
It's hard to go with questions sometimes.
is it a part of a franchise?
Ooh.
No.
Question. Is it a rom-com?
I wouldn't think so.
Okay, that I don't know what to do with
And
that.
February's gone, maybe?
Let's say no. It's not a rom-com, but there might be romance in it.
Not a franchise.
Is the lead actor alive?
No.
Is it A Knight's Tale? How many was that? 4 or 5?
That was like
5.
6, I think.
6,
yeah.
okay,
5 or
okay.
6,
Nice.
Yeah. That was
That's a
quick
good
one.
question.
No.
That was a good. I
That
just
was
saw.
a decisive question.
Yeah.
So, but I looked at 2 thumbnails, and both of them had Heath Ledger in it. I looked at 10 Things I Hate About You, and then A Knight's Tale. So, and I was like, Knight's Tale was right. I think it was 2002 or something. So,
Yeah.
that's a great movie. Love it.
Yeah, it is a good movie.
It's one of my favorite movies we've watched this year. All right, it's time to close the show with our bucket,
Bucket.
which was a mainstay of season 1 of The Big Room, and we've been doing so many damn themed months that we just haven't done the bucket. Not that we couldn't do the bucket for themed months, but we haven't been.
Yeah,
Are we
you're
done?
right.
We've kind of
Are
just
we
been-
dumb?
Yeah. Unfortunately, we've been planning more this year. Whose turn is it?
I think it's Carl.
I think it's my turn
Carl's
to pull
turn.
too. This has been
Oh.
a really big episode for me.
Wow.
My
All
right,
movie,
so
my question,
we
my
only
pool.
have 2 more tickets. So we're gonna go left hand, right hand, but Carl will have to tell basically watch
All
or
right.
no watch.
Let's go watch hand.
Watch hand.
Oh, watch hand.
Yeah.
This next movie is. I should really have a drum roll sound effect.
I was gonna do.
Oh, thank God it's not Nick's movie. Holy shit. I'm not gonna say what Nick's movie is.
This will be a surprise.
It's a surprise.
Everyone's on the edge of their seats.
However, this next movie is my pick. I'm so freaking excited. This is why I wanted to actually do a month. Pick me month. Ford versus Ferrari, which is a movie Daniel's
great.
dad has been trying to get me to see since it came
You haven't
out.
seen it.
Ultra.
I have never seen it. But it is the story of
Take a wild guess.
Ford as a motor company trying to beat Ferrari at Le Mans. So, and it is the development of the original Ford GT, the GT40. So it is that
Yes.
whole story of, I believe Ford tried to purchase Ferrari or something like that during this time, and Ferrari wouldn't sell. And so Henry Ford II got so freaking pissed off that he's like, well, we're going to beat him at Le Mans.
Le Mans.
Le Mans is a
Le Mans.
race that happens in France. It is the race that popularized the Le Mans start, where the cars are lined up and it's 3, 2, 1, go, and the drivers run to the cars, get in, and go. And I believe it is an endurance race.
Don't trip.
So it's
They,
not like a NASCAR race. It's
Yeah.
it's how many laps you do, and then who finishes first in the amount laps.
This is
allotted.
Christian Bale.
Christian Bale.
Okay.
Matt
Oh.
Damon, I believe, is in it. I'm gonna look it up actually because it's an A-list cast.
Continuing our car theme.
Yes, I'm very excited to watch this. And our Christian Bale theme. Yeah, it's American automotive designer Carroll Shelby and fearless racing driver Ken Miles battle corporate interference, the laws of physics, and their own personal demons to build a revolutionary vehicle for Ford. Together, they plan to compete against the race cars of Enzo Ferrari at the 24 Hours of Le Mans in 1966. You know why the GT40 is called the GT40 now? We had this trivia a couple of weeks ago.
I
It's
forgot.
40 inches
On the
tall.
spot.
40 inches tall.
40 inches
Yes,
tall.
I remembered
nice.
that.
So yes, Christian Bale, Matt Damon, Josh Lucas, and a bunch of people I've never heard of. So why the
Why
hell
is
are you two
there-
laughing?
Why is there what Christian Bale theme?
He was. Oh, he was.
That's why we're laughing because we were all like, "What was Christian?"
Hey,
What is he talking
how about you talk instead of just laughing at me, you group of assholes? On that
wanna
note,
interrupt
with
you.
my horrible co-hosts, both of who will be replaced next week, we're gonna watch Ford versus Ferrari, and we'll catch y'all in the next one.